At what age do you think a woman is the most attractive?
From my experience,
for men.
For men.
Yeah.
I would say mid-30s, 34.
Okay.
34,
Yes.
37.
Finally.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think mid-30s?
Yep.
And then do you think she has the highest likelihood of landing her guy in this age range?
I'd like to think so. Absolutely.
We'd like to think so.
All right.
Well, yeah.
So,
Well, it did for me. But I mean, you're wiser. You're wiser. You've been through stuff.
Okay.
But do they want someone who's older and been through stuff? That's a good point.
All right. So let me ask you this then, ladies. Do you think men value experience the same way that women value experience? So in other words, women typically value men that have experience and competency. Do you think men value that too? We'll start here. Yes or no, simple. For you.
Do
A lot
I
of you guys
think-
said experience.
All right, say that one more time.
Okay. Women value competence and experience in men. Would it be fair to say that all of you agree? You want a guy that understands how things work?
A leader, confidence.
Right? Absolutely.
Okay. Do you think men value that back in exchange to the same degree as women? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
You a boss, babe, huh? Independent. I like it.
Okay. What about you?
Yes.
You think yes as well?
100%.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
No. Absolutely not.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, unless you want an airhead.
Yeah, exactly.
For real, like
It's always the extremes.
Yeah.
Either airhead or boss, babe, independent.
Well, again, I'm asking you, what do you think the men want, not what you want?
No, I said like yeah.
So what do you think the men? What do you think men value it? Oh, they do. Okay. they do?
What kind of experience are we talking about though? Like life experience or
Well, what comes with
Logan
life?
Dillon
In every
Beyonce
aspect.
experience.
I'm just saying,
Well,
yeah.
not true.
Don't people say like men need to have their share of fun before they like settle down and stuff?
Yeah.
Men don't want that.
But
They want you
wait,
to be like
you're saying, do men need to have their share of fun? You said, or women?
Yeah, men.
But
Well,
men
we're
always say
different though.
that.
Yeah.
I know we're different, but I'm asking you, like men, like they'd rather have a younger woman because obviously she's less experienced.
Oh.
But men are so much more
Mhm.
likely to be known as someone that needs to have their share of experience before they settle down and have a family.
But isn't it funny that women prefer older men that are more mature, that
No.
have more experience?
Yeah, we do.
I
But
don't.
I do personally.
But do men want the same thing?
I don't know.
No.
It's for you to
Well, she
answer.
said yes by her answer.
Yeah, you said yes.
Okay. So even though the question she just asked elicited maybe a different thought process.
I would say yes.
Bruh. Yeah, you think, you think men value experience and competency in women the same degree?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. What about you?
I don't think it's important really at all.
Okay.
I mean, if she has like a tremendous amount of life experience, like I feel like that might even be off-putting. Like I feel like a
Okay.
lot of men like want like younger, like uncorrupted women.
Mhm.
Per se.
Awesome word choice. Let's go.
I mean, because like in a relationship, like I mean, at least in my opinion, you want the man to be the leader, right? In order for that to happen, he has to have the experience. Like I am not going to lead in a relationship, so it doesn't really matter the experience I have. Like I would like trust the man to be the leader, and then he would use his experience to go wherever.
You're in a very masculine environment in the military where there is a chain of command, there's a order of hierarchy, etc. In general, right? Not all the time, but in general, people of higher stature within the military typically have more competence, more experience. They have something that got them and elevated them to that position, which allows them to command authority, wear a certain title or have a certain title where their subordinates underneath them. Wouldn't it be fair to say that dynamic is very important between men and women?
Absolutely.
There needs to be that hierarchy?
I believe so.
Okay.
Question: do you watch the show?
I do like the show.
There you go. Smart woman.
So I asked a 3-part question here because I really wanted to get the ladies' thought process on this without me influencing it. So I asked, what matters more? The super chat, shout out to you. That was a fantastic question that started this conversation.
Bender the
Offender. He goes, should women prioritize career or a family between 21 to 27? Most of you said career, and you guys gave reasons for such as like, being experienced, loving yourself, understanding yourself, not being childish because you're still a baby, having a backup, being independent. Wrote down a bunch of your answers. And then I asked, when do you think a woman has the highest likelihood of actually securing a man? Some of you said 18 to 24, etc. but most of you actually gave older ages, and then one of you switched it up and went back to 22 and I asked you. And then when I asked, do men value competency at the same level? Most of you actually said yes, and experience. So this is very alarming to me.
Why we all have like almost the same thought process?
For two reasons, this is alarming to me. Number one, you guys are drastically wrong about what men prefer in women. And then the other thing is that it's scary that you guys all think that prioritizing a career is more important than prioritizing a family. And I'll tell you why before you guys call me an asshole or a jerk.
Misogyny.
A woman has a certain amount of time to capitalize on the value she's given, right? If I give you $1 million at 18 years old, right? And you're not able to multiply that money by the time you're 30, are you stupid?
Yes.
Would you say yes?
Yeah.
If I give you $1 million at 18, you're 18, congratulations, happy birthday. Here's $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
If in 10 years you have nothing left to your name, you would be considered stupid. But if you're able to multiply it, invest it correctly in that time period, you'd be intelligent, right?
Mm-hmm.
I look at women and finding a man in that same regard, because you have a finite amount of time to find the man that you want. Now, one of you said earlier, hey, I can find a man whenever, which is true. That's absolutely true. However, is the man that you want going to want you back when you're ready to settle? And I think that's the question that women don't ask themselves. The man that you want, ask yourself, describe the man that you want. Probably over 6 feet tall, 6 figures a year, attractive, charming, charismatic, able to dress well, in shape, goes to the gym. Congratulations.
Loyal,
that guy is less than
doesn't lie.
1% of the population.
Smart,
Smart,
caring,
kind,
loyal,
gentle.
honest.
Cool, fantastic. You
yell.
just brought it down even more. That's less than 1% of the male population.
No, yeah, for sure.
That's so think about it. If he's less than 1% of the male population, and there's a bunch of beautiful girls that are turning 18 every day that will follow his lead, won't give him a headache, who do you think he's going to go with?
No, yeah.
Younger women.
I agree with you. It makes sense. It makes sense. I tried. I gave it a go, and
Same.
I tried my best. So with my two daughters, of course I want them to be in love and start a family, and I look forward to those days. But I want to make sure that if something does happen, they have a career to fall back on. They have their own bank account, and that, I've been in a situation that was abusive, and it took me a while to get out of it. And I was very scared. And
But would it be fair to say that if we're going to tell young women that they need to prioritize their career, etc., that we also need to tell them in the negative side that if you pursue your career and chase this dream, another dream is probably going to end for you?
Absolutely.
Because we tell women that they can have it all, they can go ahead and chase a career and make money, become successful. What we don't tell them is dark side of that. There's a high likelihood that you're not going to find the man of your dreams if you have the career of your dreams.
Yeah.
Because men don't care about experience. Men don't care about competency. You said it earlier. We want a girl that's unused and hasn't been around the world. Think about it right now. Earlier, I set them up in the trap. Earlier, I asked you.
You triggered my trap card.
If your daughter... if your son was Logan Paul and he was dating that woman and all these pictures were on the internet of her with other men, that sounds to me like experience. That sounds to me like independence. But none of you signed off on her really with her actions. So on one end, you guys are saying, no, women should go out there and get experience, be independent and date people and have fun, etc. But on the other end, when I tell you your son is going to be on the receiving end of that woman, you guys say, fuck no.
Well, it obviously means like you have to think about like the choice of like your decisions, your actions throughout life. That's on you. You have a head over your shoulders. You don't. That's going to obviously lead with you to your future as well as your past leads with you now. You always have to think about what you're doing.
But what you don't understand is that a woman's past will absolutely tarnish her ability to find a man in the future.
What kind of past?
Anything
in general?
Being promiscuous, having a lot of male partners, etc. This woman probably didn't even fuck all these guys, but the image is there, which is bad enough.
Because perception is reality.
But she found the guy she wants.
She fucked all these dudes, so it lowers her value tremendously.
I mean, hold on, it was enough to make all of you say she's a disqualified candidate for your son.
I didn't say disqualified. I
Sit down and talk to her.
Yeah, talk to her.
Yeah.
I made you have questions.
But if she's aligned in her life at the point where she's with my son and she's gonna be in a different place in her life, I just think it's different and it's all circumstantial.
Does a tiger ever change his stripes?
Rawr.
Very few tigers change their stripes, but some people are living a good ass time and then they grow up. You know,
But
Some
then they
people-
lose.
So
She didn't lose. She got
Like
the
he can't
dude,
walk
right?
out with
Oh,
his,
yeah.
like,
That
his
doesn't mean he's
tail
gonna
guy
keep her, though.
anymore.
It comes back to
But nobody's
it comes
necessarily
back to
with
the
anybody.
situation I gave before. Like men value women that are inexperienced, women that are impressionable, women that can be molded, women that want to follow their lead because men are expected to be leaders. If I am responsible for a platoon of soldiers, right? I want soldiers that are going to follow my lead. Hey, we need to go this, do this. I need you to do that. They don't want no talk back or whatever, because if they don't, the mission doesn't get accomplished. People can die. There's serious consequences. A relationship with a man is very similar. So men in general want women that are going to comply and follow their directions because life already is hard enough for us. It's very difficult out there. So the last thing you want is a combative, rambunctious woman that's assertive and dominant because she wears her work at home and she's made a career for herself and earns a lot of money. And you don't have to tell her, you can't tell her shit. That's very annoying. And I would argue, right, because a lot of our friends are higher net worth individuals, etc. Guys like us don't really care about women's careers and income.
Granted, we're not saying you can't
Unfortunately.
work a job. We're
Not
just
right.
saying when it comes to the choice of having a family, what's more important to you? And at the same time, finding a man that's going to be a leader for you isn't easy either. But when you do find that man, would you give it your career for that man?
Yeah, I think
Oh, yeah.
I think we can tell women to go and chase a career. I'm never against women going and making money and chasing a career, but I don't like that we don't tell young women that comes with consequences.
How do you feel about traditional roles in this generation, though? Because I feel like it's not always how it used to be. It
Right.
should be, right? But men are so feminized, like I'd said on the last podcast.
Yeah.
And I just think things are changing now where women feel they need to take on that dominant role for security purposes almost.
But a lot of it's out of necessity too, because we've been in abusive relationships and we got financially fucked over and had to start from scratch,
Right.
rebuild everything.
Well,
And-
to
and
be
have
fair,
kids,
Hold
who
on.
chose that relationship?
Definitely. And that's why I exited it with nothing and rebuilt, because I made that choice. So yeah,
Wait, so the guy, did he get alimony from you or the other way around?
we did no alimony either way.
No child support, no nothing.
Very, very small child support.
Okay, so he paid you child support, but not as much as.
Wait. He paid you or you pay him?
No, he pays me
All right.
I mean,
as he should. I have the children.
No.
I have
We
the
understand.
children,
We
you know?
understand that, but I mean, I'm sure that the divorce probably messed him up too. Like, I mean, divorce typically cripples men.
Unless, you know what? Yes, you're right.
I would like to add to her point though, because why, like, I exited my relationship is
Yeah.
that
We have 3
Um,
divorced women on the panel. That's crazy.
is
the first-
that
Well, she's in the
my
military, so I get it.
yeah I married
You married at 18?
No, I was we got together when I was like what 19 like yeah
Was he military too?
yes
Okay. All right.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
out the barracks. But one of the reason I left is that he got complacent,
Okay.
very complacent, and it was very off-putting. You know, he was no longer the leader. He was no longer willing to lead. And, you know, I gave him, you know, 2 years to, work on his shit. And then it just got to the point where like I was almost being masculinized because, I would have to be doing everything. And it just got to the point where like I no longer wanted to go home. Like I would spend extra time at work or at the gym. And just because coming home and it was just annoying and naggy and I just didn't want to put up with it anymore.
Yeah.
So did he change or was he always that person you think?
He was not the same person I married now. When we first got together, he was very much a leader, very, masculine per se, very strong, very dominant. And then as I grew my business, because I also run a childcare service as well, as I grew into my business and whatnot, which I did for us, because, a big thing about soldiers is that, they struggle with finances. So my goal was I wanted to create this business so he could become the best soldier he could be, and not have to worry about home. But then it got to the point where like I took care of him like too well, and then he got complacent and thought he wouldn't have to lead anymore, or be a prominent partner in a relationship. And he just didn't understand. And like he's not a bad person for it, but like no matter how like independent I become, like I always want to be taken care of and provided for, and like and to feel like there's a leader in the relationship.
Mhm.
And, and I've said before, like, a lot of my friends know that I repeat the phrase complacency kills, and complacency did kill, and it killed our relationship. And that's why I left. Like, there was no like, hard feelings. Like I let him have our house.
I think that's why important. Like when you got with your guy, were you guys close in age?
Yes.
When you got with your guy, how much older was he than you?
Way too old. Way much older.
And he didn't have his financial stuff together?
No, he did.
Oh,
He did. Did I say he didn't?
No, I mean the way you said it, like, hey, they left you like financially broke or whatever, like that came off as like he didn't.
Yeah, that's what happened. But he had his shit together, perfectly well together.
Sugar daddy.
No, not at all. I wish. I wish. Jesus,
But like, how long were y'all married?
Not long enough for me to get 50% of our stuff. Where I'm based,
like
there's
a year?
a year, 2.5 or so. Yeah,
2.5.
Nigga set him out.
But she initiated.
Yeah.
I did. It was my choice. I'm not gonna stay for 50%. I don't give a fuck about 50%.
No, okay, so it was just that bad.
Yeah, and I don't give a fuck about 50%. I just don't. Even if it weren't that bad, once I've made the choice, I've made the choice. I'm not gonna waste my time or anybody else's time.
Was he
It's weird.
abusive? You said.
Yeah.
Like what made you say like this is it, I'm out? Like was he just like, I don't know, what do you do?
Kids. That's
Oh,
a
his
defining
kids.
factor. My kids.
You're he was the biological dad?
He was. Our children made me say, "Oh, this is not okay. This is gonna fuck up everybody, not just me." You know.
Did he give you a 1-piece, 2-piece, or 3-piece combo?
What the fuck?
I'm just curious.
It was physical?
No,
Like,
no.
You said it was
You know what?
abusive.
There were some abusive moments.
Emotional damage.
Just like you gotta. We're trying to figure it out
I'm
here.
in a sticky territory with how I can discuss this, so I'm
Well, y'all are still
treading
legal proceedings?
lightly. I'm sure we will be for a long time.
Holy.
Yeah. No.
All right. Well, sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
No. It was not a great relationship. It was very wild and tumultuous, but the kids definitely become a factor. You know, if you haven't gained the strength for yourself, that is a factor for you. So.
I mean, chat saying she's lying, but hey, I'm just reading the chat.
I'm lying about what?
I don't know.
The chat saying you're lying, but I mean, we gotta hear. I mean, you never know unless you hear both. You know, they always say
Both
there's
sides.
both sides of the story and
absolutely.
everything.
There's always two sides.
Because I'm sure he could probably get on and say, "Well, she did this and
Oh,
that."
absolutely.
And
She was going to
everything.
clubs and shit.
Yeah.
You know what? We should call him. Hey man, let's
That
talk about
was
your story.
you probably got a lot to say.
Let's talk about your story real quick.
So y'all were married for like 2 years. And how many kids y'all got? Two. How old are the kids?
7 and 9.
Okay. So you had the kids. I'm guessing this was like in your 20s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does having kids make it harder to date? You think now?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
seriously date?
For sure. It's a big factor.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's a big reason I'm single and I have a career. So I have a lot of factors that make me not appealing to the general male population.
All right. Well, I guess you know.
And I'm 34.
At least you're being
So,
honest.
Yeah, well,
no, I'm
just-
perfectly aware of what it is. It's also like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
you get to a point in your life where you're like, I don't care if I get the man or not. I want to be happy, whether that ends up with a man or not. You know?
Okay.
So,
Okay. But wouldn't it be fair to say because you said when I asked you like, hey, what do you think is a woman's peak? You said like mid-30s, or older,
Was I
30s to
biased?
40. I think you said 30s to 40s. What it was.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like your answer shows a little bit different. That you know that like younger women have a better chance. Wouldn't it be fair to say that we should like tell younger women, hey, pursue a family while you're young and attractive, and get the best guy that you can. Vet them obviously for a bit before you guys get married. And ensure that you get certain things in your name or whatever it may be and set yourself up for success and get the best guy that you can versus, hey, chase a career and then find a guy in your mid-30s.
it's tough. It's hard.
Because you can find a guy in your 30s, but are they optimal candidates? Let's be honest. You probably reject, 99% of the guys that talk to you?
Nobody ever tries to talk to me, but if they did,
shit.
I would reject them. Absolutely. It is what it is.
So even if they tried, they would get rejected. So it's like,
She don't see him.
so it's like, you know, isn't it tough? Like, because here's the thing that I've noticed with older women. They make more money, right? As they make more money, they acquire status. As they acquire more status, they have higher standards. As they have higher standards, the man needs to go ahead. Yeah, the pool comes down alongside it. And then on top of that, the scariest part for y'all is the man that you want, that you think you deserve because you make this much money.
Doesn't want you back. Yeah, no, it's absolutely.
You know
you're completely accurate. It just doesn't change anything. The fact that you're accurate, we're still going to do what we do. You know, still going to pursue that career and hope for the fucking best. I mean,
So-
shit.
What if okay, so let's go into like a bizarro dream world, right? What if men, right, just started saying, you know what, dude? I kind of just want to do what the fuck I want to do.
Yeah.
I think they do that.
I'm going to start playing video games.
Yeah.
I'm going to start eating Cheetos.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start watching porn and chilling and everything else like that.
Drinking Sprite.
These
Can you
chicks
say
got their own
something that
money.
they don't
You go,
do?
they're independent. They can do their own thing, right? Which you guys might have been on the bad end of this in his relationship or two, right? What kind of society do you think that kind of will lead us to? Where one gender doesn't care about performing to attract the other gender.
Absolute failure.
So why is it that?
It's in our nature to perform, to peacock for each other. It's just natural.
Yeah, but
you know?
but I would argue women are peacocking in the incorrect way.
Fair enough.
Women are peacocking through masculine endeavors like chasing a career and making money. Versus and guys are. I mean, guys aren't even. A lot of guys aren't even peacocking. So my thing is like, you got these women, right? That you got guys that are sitting here like not doing the work, etc. They're made fun of, rightfully so. We make fun of guys that watch porn and fat and losers. But we don't make fun of women that aren't willing to put in the work to get guys. We make fun of the guys, but we don't make fun of the women. We champion the women and tell them, yeah, go chase a career. Fuck what men want. Even though you know that they want younger, attractive women that aren't promiscuous, that have traditional values. Fuck that. We're going to chase our career. We're going to be empowered. We're going to do what we want to do. Wouldn't it be fair to say that you kind of lost the right to like demand a certain man if you're not going to follow what that man wants back in return? Because if we switch the roles, you would never accept the guy that eats Cheetos and watches porn all day?
It should be equal.
Yeah, I don't think the two of them are necessarily like mutually exclusive.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I do believe that, you know, you can, you know, be in a, like, you know, women can, you know, run a business or do whatever and still have a strong man as the head. Like, it's all about, you know,
energy
balance.
The balance between the two of them. So I don't think that it's necessarily mutually exclusive. Again, it's just, I really think it depends on the person.
But career-oriented women tend to have certain characteristics.
Yes, if it's candid, you know, if you, I think if you prioritize your career more over, you know, finding a family or settling down, I think then you are less attractive, you know, to a man potentially.
But what I'm trying to say is that you can't. We talk all the time about like a woman can have a career and still have a family and everything, but like the most successful women just aren't gonna settle. Like, if you look at millionaires, if you look at people that are wildly successful, it's not a mistake that they all have the same mindsets and traits. Less agreeable, you know, competitive, hyper dominant, masculine features. Like, men just don't like these things. So it's like, I don't know. I think we just need to educate women more, because it's alarming the answers that you guys gave. Like, all the answers you guys gave were like 1,000% wrong. But I think deep down y'all know that they're wrong, but you've been indoctrinated by feminism in modern day society to say what I want matters more than what men want, and men should accept me how I come. But I think that's a ludicrous concept, because if I watched porn and did whatever I wanted, women would never accept me the way that I come. I have to improve and become the man that a woman wants, right? I have to earn the privilege for women to be attracted to me. But women don't feel like they have to earn the privilege for a man to be attracted to them.
Because all of our lives, we've walked out the door and men have done all kinds of things to show us that we don't have to do shit, and that they are just perfectly happy to
fair
just,
assessment.
you know, I mean,
100%.
I'm the one that's going to come up with you.
Right.
That wants to
That's why I came out with the book, Why Women Deserve Less. Now y'all see the title.
I think that to branch off of your point, I think that like in a relationship, like why it's like so important to give respect. Like, I think in a relationship, like the man wants respect and the woman wants love. You know, she wants to feel loved and nurtured and protected and cared for, and then the man wants respect as a leader, the man of the household, etc. So like naturally she's going to have to, you know, change her ways somewhat to, you know, for lack of a better word, conform or submit to.
But the problem
man
is that
she's
women don't
falling
want to
under.
conform or submit. That's the thing. Like,
that's not true.
A lot of women don't want to. But see, here's the thing, though.
It takes the right man. It takes the right man.
So you're saying in a nutshell, let's say there's a room full of guys, right?
Yeah.
And I would say like maybe like 2 of them are top options for you, right? They're actually the guy you want to be with. But there's 10 guys there. You're gonna act a certain way in front of all 10 guys, and then turn off the other 2.
Exactly.
So just you being masculine in that environment, you know what? She's hot, but she's a bitch. So I don't want to talk to her.
I think the other thing too that's interesting is that like women will say, "Oh, I'm going to submit to the right man." That's a ludicrous concept. Like, what if I just, you know what? How about this? I'm going to wear heels all week, and when I find a feminine woman, I'm going to wear shoes. Wouldn't that be?
That's not really submitting.
I really think that there's a
that's
balance,
my point.
though.
Like I'm acting feminine until I find a feminine woman, and then I'm going to act masculine. Like, in other words, I'm picking and choosing.
But it's
when
like
to be
a
a man.
guard. It's like a guard. Not every woman is just going to be submissive.
these
Because
men
you're
out
going
here
to call
dating
that
females are so
throwing
true.
yourself at a woman.
Hold on. That's not true. You're from. Have you ever been to Russia?
I have.
Okay. You've been in Eastern Europe?
No.
Okay. Well, Russia's kind of Eastern
Okay.
Europe, but
Well,
that's
like
fine.
just Russia, like nowhere else.
Okay. Like that's not true. When you go to other parts of the world, the women are a lot more naturally submissive, like
Yes.
off rip.
Yeah.
Versus in the United States, like
Mhm.
yeah, they might have a guard up, but it's not to the same degree here in America. So like women are more naturally feminine in other places. So it's not necessarily it's my guard. It's just a westernized female mindset to just be masculine at all times. And then when the right guy comes along, but what I'm arguing is that the right guy might not come along because you're purporting yourself to be a masculine female from the rip. Like if I walked around in a dress all the time, would a girl even give me the chance to kind of see my masculine side?
We'd like to
like honestly, really, I want you guys, because I'm just taking your logic and spinning it the other way around so you can see what I mean here. If I walked around in a dress and act like a female most of the time, and then I came across the right girl, would y'all even give me a chance? You wouldn't. You'd be like, what the fuck is this guy gay? So why the hell would a man give you a chance that's masculine, dominant, and successful when you give off masculine tendencies?
Yeah.
He's gonna, you know what he's gonna do? So like, you know what? Damn, this girl's annoying. I'll fuck her, but I'm never gonna wipe this girl up.
100%.
And you mentioned
I
peacocking earlier, right?
I was just say, can we give off non-masculine tendencies, but also be career oriented?
Yeah, exactly.
So
There's a beautiful
Very
balance
difficult
that you
to
can do that.
peacocking goes
Yeah.
both ways, right?
Yes.
But again, it's kind of like you want to find the man that's your dream man, but your whole demeanor, your whole energy is giving, I'm a boss, babe. Here's my career. I'm leading with this. He doesn't want that. So he's going to tell you what you want to hear to smash it in. Like you said earlier, just dip. Versus if you're actually feminine, damn, she's irreplaceable, adds value, and feminine, I'm going to give this a shot. See where it goes.
But is she happy, and does she care at that point what you think? Because is she happy? She has to be happy to care what you think.
I agree. But once again, if you really want that man, why act?
To want
To
the
what he
man,
doesn't
you
want.
have to be happy. Happiness is the very first step of anything, because everybody is a human, man and woman. We're all human. So we all have to, we share enough of the same qualities, or it's like we can be masculine, we can be feminine without going to extremes.
I think his point is that like men initially are attracted to your femininity as opposed to your happiness.
Sure.
Like
Fair enough,
you know,
but
and, like, and to branch off of your point and trying to like tie into what I think you were saying is that like for instance, like I know you said Myron that you know, a lot of business oriented females, and correct me if I'm not recapping this correctly, you know, who have, you know, strong business backgrounds or whatever, may not be as attractive to men per se. And then from what she said that, you know, you can have, you know, a less feminine front or a feminine front on one side, and then, you know, a less, you know, a masculine front or whatever. I think it's just, I think what she's saying is that you can, you know, present yourself as feminine, and then, you know, for someone like you're interested in, or for the right man, you know, you can, you know, submit to, you know, conform
take the guard
to
down
his,
a little.
take the guard down a little. Like for instance, like,
but it's always gonna rear its ugly head at inopportune times. Like this is what I'm trying to say. Like, see, like it's easy for you to put the mask on when we're out on our first date. It's easy for you to have the mask on when we're going on maybe a 2-day trip or whatever.
Honeymoon phase.
Those bad habits, those bad tendencies are going to rear their ugly head as soon as there's a disagreement, an argument, maybe some situation occurs where we didn't expect it. Like that masculine energy is going to come out at some point because it's within you. It's who you are. It's a part of your personality. You're an A-type personality. You can't turn it off. You just can't.
So do you think you have to like choose like one or the other? Like because
literally have to
in their
choose,
other,
right?
in
Look,
no other sense.
this is how it goes.
You're choosing one
If
or
you
the
want
other.
a man that's hyper masculine and dominant, the guy that you want that can tell you shut up and is attractive and is going to handle all the bills, etc., he's not going to tolerate a woman that tries to question him. Period. That's not how this goes. I don't and I'm going to be honest with y'all. I tell my significant others, right, my ladies, right? I don't negotiate with y'all. I don't have discussions with my girls. This is what the fuck it is. Period. I'm not going to argue with you. This is what it is. And they respect me for it, and they're attracted to it. I don't negotiate with women, period, because I don't think women are on the same level as men when it comes to decision-making skills, when it comes to rationality, when it comes to an ability to assess the real world for what the fuck it really is, because men live a vastly different reality than women do, right? Are there some women that are aware of it to some degree? Yes, maybe women in the military, right, that might be aware of the brutality and the savageness of the real world. But in general, a lot of women are coddled from real world situations, okay, to a degree. And I'm talking about the real world where being the threat of violence is very real from random people, etc. And for all the women out there, oh no, women are victims of violence too. Men are 5 times as likely to be victims of violence than women are. But I say all that to say this: men and women aren't equal, and women respect men that acknowledge this uncomfortable biological fact. You don't want to equal. None of y'all do. All of you said you want a leader. Ta-da, done. That means you do not want to equal.